I have not played this much Destiny 2 in a very long time. But hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the Final Shape DLC for Destiny 2. So it's gonna be what, day 3 of the DLC being out by the time this video goes up. And yeah, I finished playing the campaign yesterday with my brother. I live streamed it, so if you're interested in seeing that, you know, that's on the live tab on my YouTube channel. But I will warn you, the second part of my campaign playthrough, I did a big oopsie. So on OBS, when I make videos, I have my desktop audio and my microphone audio separated into two different tracks. So when I go to edit it, I can adjust the microphone and gameplay volume separately if I need to. But when I live stream, you can only live stream with one audio track. So you have to go into the settings manually and change your microphone and gameplay to the same audio track. I forgot to do that when I started live streaming. So for the first like 2 hours of the second part of my campaign playthrough, there was no game audio, or I had no mic audio for me, but you could hear my brother, which is very funny. So yeah, 2 hours in and I realized that. Shout out to Jaren, by the way. I wouldn't have realized that was even happening if he didn't point it out. But yeah, I kind of wanted to jump off a mountain when I realized I had done that. So by the way, in this mission, I'm going to go ahead and just do the exotic mission. I'm doing a bunch of the post-campaign stuff. I've been doing it on my off stream. And I figured in this video I would get to the golden gun sniper rifle here. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the background. But yeah, in the last video, I talked about my initial impressions after playing the campaign for a few hours. So by this point, obviously, I've beaten it. And, you know, I'm not going to give spoilers, obviously, but I'm going to say...
All right. First step of every successful mission is a code name. I'm thinking Operation Butterscotch Katana. Really? I'm not hearing any bright ideas coming out of you.
I love you, Cade. But yeah, just really quick before I move on and there's more dialogue. I'm not going to spoil anything about the story, but what I will say is that the campaign experience in terms of its story was very enjoyable. You know, I obviously myself and a bunch of other people were worried that after, you know, the way Lightfall came out, maybe Bungie might have like lost their way in terms of writing, especially coming off the back of Witch Queen, was just like universally praised for its story, which is rare for Destiny. But yeah, I can happily report that the story for the campaign is actually very good, and Keith David has a standout performance and just does a very good job, you know, stepping into Zavala's shoes after, you know, Lance Reddick sadly passed away. This is the first time since that happened that there's been new Zavala dialogue, so we were finally able to hear that fully. You know, we still have a little bit more campaign technically, because the campaign ends and then, you know, it's like the raid is gonna happen, and the raid is the continuation of the story. So after the raid is beaten, there will probably be more campaign quest steps that you're allowed to do, because I'm pretty sure once you get to a certain point, you know, you can't continue the main quest, quote unquote, because the raid hasn't happened yet. So yeah, up until this point, the campaign was very good. You know, I can also happily report that the gameplay side of the expansion is also very good. The biggest thing, there's a whole bunch of stuff that they changed and added, but the biggest thing obviously being the prismatic subclass, which basically combines multiple aspects of the dark and light subclasses together, so you can mix and match different things. And along with, you know, all the mixing and matching you do with the multi-subclass stuff, there's also one new super per class as well. And the Titan one, which I currently have equipped, is a void axe that you throw 3 times and it does a ton of damage. And you can also pick them up afterwards and swing them around like a roaming super. It's really cool. I'm not sure how good it'll be in the grand scheme of like the, you know, hardcore like endgame type stuff, but at the very least, it is really fun to use. Also, one thing I should mention about the story, it's not a spoiler because it was in trailers and stuff, but, you know, the fact that they brought Cade back, I'm pretty sure myself and a bunch of other people were worried that was going to be kind of like shoehorned in and just done for fan service, but it's actually done like really well. So if you were worried about how they handled that, then, you know, I'm here to reassure you that it was done pretty well.
Those things weren't normal screebs. They were dripping with the witness's corruption.
Essence of Screeb. Screeb Musk. Oh, to Screeb, if you will.
I will not.
Oh, also, ever since Forsaken, Nolan North has been the voice of Cade 6, when previously it was Nathan Fillion. But they actually got Nathan Fillion to come back and voice Cade for the Final Shape, which I was very surprised about. You know, that was announced a while ago, but it's really cool that they did that. But it's also really impressive on Nolan North's part, because during Forsaken, he did a really good Nathan Fillion impression. You know, unless you're listening super closely, it's kind of hard to tell that they even switched a voice actor. But yeah, on the gameplay front as well, the new location, the Pale Heart of the Traveler, is also, it's my favorite location in the entire game. I guess that shouldn't be really surprising, considering the fact that this is like the end cap to the, you know, storyline that they've been telling so far. But Man, it's probably like the prettiest location that they've ever made, like, period. Oh my god. But yeah, in the like light parts of the location, you know, it's like really colorful and there's tons of plant life everywhere. But then there's also the parts that are being corrupted by the witness, which are like really dour, but also really cool looking. There's some like berserk eclipse type shit in some of the locations too. It's awesome. So I did one of the post-campaign exotic missions off screen, and I got a exotic sword out of it, and it's actually a special sword, which is the first time that they've ever made one of these. And you know, apart from just being a special sword, it also makes little tiny homing explosive robots when you kill things with it. It's kind of like Colony, but a sword instead. It's really odd, actually. I'll go ahead and use my super on the next big thing that I find so you can actually see what it looks like. Yeah, look at it go. That's a big Warby, so shit. I also have an exotic chest piece equipped where when I throw out my rally barricade, it shoots a bunch of rockets, depending on how many headshot kills I've gotten. So, they all missed. Fuck me. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna pop my super on the dog. Oh, it went immune. Sick. Awesome. All right, well, yeah, you can see here that after you throw them on the floor, you can pick them back up. And you can also throw these. Or you can use the light attack and, you know, smack things with it. So I'll grab this one and swing it around a little bit. Like that. You know, talking about how the raid is going to continue the story and then lead until probably a final campaign mission afterwards. So I'm not going to participate in the day one raid race just because I don't have the time or the gamer skill to do stuff like that. But I have a friend actually who's pretty hardcore in Destiny, and he's been doing their day one raid stuff for a while. So I'll be interested to see. He's probably going to be live streaming his attempt at it. So I'll probably tune in every once in a while to see how he's doing on that. But yeah, overall, apart from the server issues that I mentioned in the last video, the DLC is so far been very, very good. And talking about the post-campaign stuff a little bit, it's weird because, you know, I mentioned at the beginning, this is the most that I've played Destiny in a very long time. And even compared to like when other DLCs released and whatnot, you know, I'm just going to super the dog again. Because fuck him. Eat shit. Fucker. But yeah, I remember when like Beyond Light came out and doing the post-campaign stuff, getting like Salvation's Grip and stuff like that. Like, it was fine, but I didn't like particularly enjoy it, and especially unlocking the stasis stuff after the campaign was very, very not fun and grindy. And then Witch Queen, the DLC was very good, but when I got the post-campaign stuff, you know, I did it to get the exotics and stuff, but besides that, I didn't really, you know, care for it all that much. And the same for Lightfall. But I don't know, something about this DLC, maybe it's just because I think using Prismatic is really fun, but something about the post-campaign stuff and Prismatic is just compelling me to play this game more. Like, ever since I beat the campaign yesterday on stream, I didn't stop playing it after I stopped streaming. So if that isn't like a mark of quality in terms of how much I'm enjoying this, then I don't know what is. You know, I mentioned Keith David's performance being really, really good earlier, but I should also mention that the performance from everybody that was in this was also just, they were all just amazing. You know, Ikora, Cade, and Crow. You know, they've always been like really good actors in this game, but you know, when the story is actually, you know, also being well written, it allows the characters that exist within the story to shine more than they normally do. And the Witness also, all the dialogue and voice lines he has in this, you know, in the cutscenes and everything are also very, very good. You know, he's always been this sort of like mysterious, secretive, sort of in the background type presence. Obviously, with this being the, you know, DLC where we confront the Witness finally, they allow him to be present more throughout the campaign physically instead of just being in the background all the time. You know, I'm using the sword. I was not expecting it to swing as slowly as it does. But I mean, I guess it doesn't really do any less damage than a regular sword does, which is surprising. Also, something interesting that they did is if you had any weapons in your vault or on your person that were sunset, they actually removed the sunset like power cap on all those weapons. So if you did keep stuff for whatever reason, then you can actually infuse it up to current light level and actually use it in current content. So for me personally, things like Edgewise and 21% Delirium, you know, I kept those because I just really like them. But yeah, I can finally actually use them again because I've been dying for a decent solar machine gun, you know. And sadly, if you deleted anything that was sunset, you know, there's no way for you to actually get any of that back. So, I remember like stuff like Perfect Paradox from Season of the Dawn and everything like that, when they were still sunsetting stuff, sadly, if you deleted it, yeah, you can't get it back. And I do remember them saying something a little bit ago about putting stuff from older seasons that was sunset back into the loot pool at some point. Although in what way, I'm not sure. But I should mention also the new enemy faction that they added is very, very cool and fun to fight. They added to the Tormentor entourage of witness type enemies with the Subjugator and the other one, I don't remember what it's called, but the Strand and Stasis elite enemies. And there's a whole bunch of grunt enemies too, like these flying guys. I'm up on my super. The super is so fun. I love how you just throw the axe. It's so cool. Just really quick showing off the environment. Like, look how crazy and cool this location is. It's like, look at that. There's a lion in the mountain. Why is there a lion in the mountain? I don't know, but it looks really cool. And over there in the background, you can see just barely the Witnesses, like, Monolith Citadel area. The closer and closer you get to there, the more messed up the location gets. Where am I going? There were rumors for a while that Bungie is potentially making Destiny 3. And it's been, like, even, like, closer to the release of this and after it's come out, those rumors seem to be more and more true with every single passing day. But yeah, Bungie is not Bungie. Destiny is always in like this weird fluctuating state of being really bad and pissing off their players all the time, but then also being really good and doing stuff that makes people happy. And it's just like there's a lot of things that people are still disappointed with in terms of this game. Things like content vaulting and stuff like that. And it's like, at some point, I guess they are going to have to like cut their losses, so to speak. And, if they ever want Destiny to be like a big, popular, super popular thing, it's very unlikely that they're going to get, a giant influx of new players to hop in with Destiny 2. Obviously, there's bumps in player numbers whenever, expansions and things like that come out. But I feel like the opportunity for Destiny to become like really mainstream and popular would only really be possible if they made like a clean slate new game. On one hand, that would be able to bring a whole lot of new players and they'd be able to, completely change things and, the type of game that they make on like a fundamental level. And also technically, they'd hopefully be able to avoid the engine issues that they've been dealing with since literally forever. The whole reason that content vaulting exists in the first place because the engine is because the game is, such a pain in the ass to work on when all the stuff is in the game.
Stakeouts make me antsy.
Sit still. Weren't you the one who suggested this?
The only thing better than my first ideas are my second ideas. What if we let the Guardian do what they do best and just unleash hell?
And let their fire draw out the leader. Smart. Sounds like a plan.
Oh my god, they're both stupid. But yeah, if they made a new game, which, leaks and rumors are suggesting that that's going to happen eventually, it would be beneficial in the sense that it's a clean slate and they could, make smarter decisions and change things the way that they need to be changed. But at the same time, it would also be, again, one of the things that would make people really upset, all their stuff, all their loot, and all their paid cosmetic stuff also that people have gotten would probably not transfer over to the new game, which is, that's expected. But like I said, it would be one of those things where the common sentiment around Destiny would be fluctuating between people being happy and people being really upset. And, it's no guarantee that if they made a new game that it would be objectively better for the player in regards to whatever they decide to do with it than what we currently have now. So it's just one of those interesting things to, think about when you play this game, or at least I do, because I'm insane. Huh? All right. The game did not want me to jump out there. I see. Maybe I have to stand up there and shit. Whatever. I don't know if this is a bug or whether I'm just not paying attention, but there were certain points during like the campaign and post-campaign stuff where I would just randomly get one shot by enemies, and it's not like they were doing like a super big attack that I wasn't paying attention to. It's like random like stray bullets would hit me and I would instantly die. And it would say misadventures. I don't know if that's a bug or whether that's intentional, but yeah, it's kind of inconvenient when that happens. Why is it telling me to turn back? Is my mission bugged? Hold on. I'm so confused. Hold on. I'm assuming I'm supposed to jump out here, but I keep dying. What is going on? There we go. I guess I had to shoot them. That's so weird. Can I go out here now? No, I can't. What the hell is happening? Is this intentional? I can't tell if this is intentional or not. If I use my Exodus rockets, will they reach the boss?
Are you keeping count?
No. Just shooting things and saying numbers. That's 12, by the way.
Oh, okay. As long as you didn't think this was a competition. Because I'm at 13.
Oh, that's how it's gonna be?
Oh my god, there's two of them. All right, sick. Half of them hit the wall. You love to see it. You know, it's kind of weird using the older guns that were sunset again, because a lot of them aren't like built to interact with the newer subclass synergies with, like, you know, the elemental effects and whatnot. But man, just having a gun that I could have a reload perk on that also does damage is really nice. Die! There we go. God, that's so satisfying.
Sounds like the perfect place to continue our investigation. Operation Boom Pop Wow is back on track.
What about Operation Popscore?
Hey, there you go. You see how fun it is?
Oh my god, they're literally the same person. And it was kind of obvious that the final shape was like do or die again for Bungie, because, you know, before this and before the Into the Light update came out, you know, player sentiment was at like an all-time low, even for like Destiny standards, with things like the layoffs that happened a while ago and whatnot. But yeah, even like stuff like this, which I guess, you know, this stuff is technically part of the campaign, it's just, you know, after the main quest and whatnot, but like the quality of even stuff like this is really, really high and entertaining. So look at these two chuckle fucks yucking it up.
I know you still hate me deep down, but we should probably stick together from now on.
I don't hate you. I don't even hate Aldrin. We both played our hands and his trumped mine. It cost me my life, my friends, Sundance. Oh man, Sundance. She was everything. But I got dealt a new hand and get to choose how I play it next.
Katie. No. I need you to know I'm sorry. All of me.
Everybody makes mistakes, kid. And everybody, I mean everybody, pays for them. Don't you think we both paid enough?
It's stuff like this, you know, this was a moment that, you know, people were anticipating ever since, you know, we saw where this expansion and where last season was going. You know, these two characters finally being able to meet and, you know, reconcile with their past. It's like, oh, this is like, we're actually getting like flushed out conversations and moments between these two characters. Oh, it's so good. Also, yeah, this is one of the witness darkness areas of the Pale Heart location, and yeah, it's not doing too great. Maybe we'll see some of the like crazy psychedelic shit that is also in these areas, you know, stuff like this where there's just like faces in like the architecture and hands and shit. You know, I've said it time and time before, but the art team always knocks it out of the park no matter what is happening in Destiny.
There's our barrel. Why did they drag it in here?
Oh, we'll about to find out. I'm sure it'll be for good reasons. I can't wait to get swarmed by Screebs in this enclosed space.
Like the Dark Ether source, Guardian.
Wow, a much fuck ton of enemies just spawned. Wait. Exodus rockets, go! Wow, that is a lot of damage. And thankfully, you know, with Prismatic, unlike Strand from Lightfall, they don't honey dick you throughout the entire campaign until the very end. You know, once you get Prismatic, you can have it permanently equipped and use it throughout the entire campaign. You know, you unlock new fragments and aspects for it as you go through the campaign, but get the fuck away from me! It's like, look at this shit. Look at this insane CC shit. It's kind of stupid, but I also love it, so I don't care. Exodus rockets, go! It literally does an entire health bar. Holy shit. This exotic is goated. I'm not sure how useful it would be in like a DPS environment because you have to get headshot kills. So maybe against bosses it might not be that useful unless there's ads around. But man, this thing does a lot of damage. Oh, it's so satisfying. Yeah, I remember hearing like initial impressions before the campaign came out because a few people got to play it early. And I remember hearing that the legendary campaign was actually kind of easy. And I don't really care for like difficulty in like the campaign. Although I don't want it to be like brain dead easy either, because then it's just not fun to do anything because nothing is threatening and you don't actually get to engage with the gameplay systems to any significant extent. But also watch this drive. I love this super so much. But I remember people.
Yep, definitely has.
Holy shit! There's a cutscene for this.
But I do see a gross bit I could use for.
I'm keeping this shit in here. Oh my god! It has Screebs like crawling out of it. This is so cool. Wow, he just kicked the shit out of the thing. Wow, these things are getting manhandled. Holy shit. Oh, this is so cool.
Hey, ugly!
Oh my god. This is the best DLC that they've ever made.
Pretty good idea.
Thanks. I have those sometimes.
It's like, oh, it's like this is like the type of thing where, like, even in other DLCs we wouldn't get stuff like this. It's like we got a pre-rendered cutscene for a post-campaign mission that doesn't happen. Also, I'm surprised how long this mission is, actually, thinking about it.
I understand.
It's a new club. If you're gonna be the next Hunter Vanguard, you'll need one.
The Vanguard Dare.
Isn't law. If it was, Ultra would have the position.
They're doing the thing.
That matters. This needs to be your choice. If you don't want it, if you're not ready, don't do it. When I wasn't ready, and I did the best I could.
But you're the Hunter Vanguard.
Not anymore. Too much paperwork.
He's so real for that.
Look, you want purpose. This is it, kid. Me, I can't be tied to a desk when I'm gonna find one. Just think about it. I dare you.
I will.
Make sure you celebrate it.
Wasn't that wholesome?
Life's still all about that time. Big fight coming up. Let's get to it. You're still my favorite.
Wow, he's so real for that. You know, on one hand, this stuff is really cool, and I'm glad that, you know, they put stuff like this in the DLC, because, like, this is gonna make it probably one of the most memorable DLC experiences, you know, playing through it. But it's kind of hard not to think about the fact that the only reason that, you know, we got this high quality of stuff is because, you know, Bungie was at the end of their rope again in terms of, you know, community sentiment and backlash and all that. You know, if Bungie, like, had a consistent track record of putting out quality like this, or shit, even back when Witch Queen came out and that was like the standard of, you know, quality back then. But, you know, if they had a consistent track record of putting out quality shit all the time, then, you know, people would probably be more open to, you know, the idea of a Destiny 3, because people would have faith that, you know, Bungie would make good decisions in terms of, you know, the game and what they would do with it. But again, it's just that fluctuating quality in terms of, you know, Bungie as a developer that, you know, even with all the good things that they do, you know, there's always these blights on what would otherwise be a really good game and a really good company. They make something like this, and you can tell that the people who make this, like, genuinely care and give a shit about what it is that they're making. But then there are times where it's just like they make these weird decisions, whether it be in terms of like gameplay, story, or like company decisions, and it feels like two completely different companies that exist within one company making these decisions. It's very odd.
Zavala, Cade told me something that you need to know.
What is it?
He doesn't intend to return as Hunter Vanguard. He thinks Crow deserves the job.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Crow is more than ready.
He said the thing.
And he's a different person now.
Perhaps we all are.
Ikora can... There's no easy
Oh?
way to say this. Will you teach me how to use stasis?
Are you sure?
I know it sounds hollow after all the times I've warned against using the darkness. I know, but... As you said, we're all different people now.
We certainly are. Of course I'll teach you, Zavala.
Don't go easy on me just because...
I won't. Meet me at camp. We'll start with the basics. New light.
This is literally, like, again, it's the capstone on this 10-year journey that they've been going on with this story and characters. But, like, this is literally character development, the fucking DLC. Holy shit, it's so good. Hello, kid. Oh, would you look at that? I'm not gonna read all this out loud, but all right, and there we go. I have the Still Hunt exotic sniper rifle, also colloquially known as the Golden Gun Sniper. This is probably the craziest gun that they've ever put into the game. It's essentially a super if you could get enough headshots to activate the perk. But yeah, with that quest completion, something popped up on the side of the screen that I actually want to look at really quick. So yeah, as you can see, I'm at 31 quest steps out of 34 for the final shape quest. And this is basically counting down to the release of the raid. And whenever that's complete, and I'm assuming the rest of the quest steps for the main quest will actually unlock, and the actual ending to the campaign will, you know, happen. And I guess we'll see how that all plays out. I'll be I'll be really surprised if there's like really big twists that happen in the raid and then in the campaign to follow. But yeah, this DLC has been very enjoyable. You know, they pulled out all the stops with this expansion, partly because they had to, but also, you know, again, you can tell people who make this really give a shit. You know, let me actually go to show off the gun really quick because it's actually really cool. It's essentially another super. I don't know if it does as much damage as a actual golden gun. Also, this thing synergizes with Celestial Nighthawk as well, which is something else I didn't think they were going to do. You know, when this gun was initially revealed, people were, you know, wondering if it was going to do that. And yes, if you have Celestial Nighthawk on as a hunter and you pop the super on the sniper, you get 1 supercharged shot instead of, you know, 3 strong ones. So essentially, this allows you to have like 2 supers. You know, you can have like a support super or just a different super, and then you can have this as like a damage super. Now, again, obviously, you have to get headshots to fill up the meter there on the bottom left, but all right, let me pop it, and if I miss all my shots, then I'll end the video and cry. It's insane. Like, this is one of the coolest things that they've ever added into the game. Oh, hello. Eat shit, nerd. Eat shit, smaller nerds. But yeah, for real this time, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If you did enjoy this video and want to help support the channel, then leaving a like and subscribing will be very much appreciated. You know, you want to help out your boy so that I can get the nice video codec and YouTube will finally give it to me, then that would be very much appreciated. Also, can we talk about how cool this screen looks, by the way? But anyways, later.